Hello, my name is Dr. Cassandra L. Bransford, Associate Professor of Social Work at Binghamton University. I am a certified psychoanalyst psychotherapist in private practice in Binghamton with over 30 years of clinical experience, and the co-author of Dignity for All, Bullying Prevention, a safe and supportive bully prevention program. I'd like to talk to you today about the theoretical underpinnings of Dignity for All, also known as DFA. I will describe the three quests that comprise the DFA curriculum. Starting with the first quest, Quest 1, being understanding bullying behavior, aggression, and the impact of school climate. Let us start with a question. Why is DFA a whole school approach? DFA is a whole school approach because it is rooted in an understanding that in order to reduce aggression and bullying in a school, then the entire system must be looked at as a whole. What happens in a classroom cannot be seen in isolation from what is happening in the administrative office or what is happening in the cafeteria or in the playground or in the school bus or what is happening in people's homes, neighborhoods, and communities. Every member of the school may need an opportunity to reflect upon how they are reacting to the enormous stresses involved in living today's society and what they may need to help them cope better with these stresses. The goal of DFA is to promote schools that are empathic, reflective communities of caring, respect, and safety. First and foremost, the fundamental theory to be addressed within DFA is general systems theory, developed initially by Ludwig von Bertalanffy in the 1960s. Systems theory helps us to better understand and address the importance of environmental influences both from inside the school and also from outside the school. It helps us to understand that any person could potentially find themselves in any one of the roles, bystander, target, or bully, depending on a number of factors, including internal variables such as temperament and/or how a person may feel on a given day, external or environmental variables such as what might be going on at home or in one's neighborhood or community, and interpersonal variables such as the nature of relationships between persons. Systems theory helps us to understand that all of these variables, internal, external, and interpersonal, are dynamic and constantly changing, as well as helping us to understand that we all bear some responsibility both for maintaining the bullying cycle and also for disrupting and stopping it. Within Quest 2, we look into the benefits of mindfulness, empathy, and mentalization. A theoretical underpinning of DFA is British object relations theory, initially developed by Melanie Klein. Object relations theory contains the idea that persons can project unwanted parts of themselves into others, particularly when under stress. So, if a child is experiencing mistreatment at home by a parent who may, in turn, be under tremendous work stress, that child may feel angry and powerless and may come to school wishing to project or transfer feelings of powerlessness into someone else. Typically, this someone else would be someone who may be perceived as passive or viewed as vulnerable. By helping youth in schools to contextualize their own reactions and emotions as situated within their environments, it can better help them to better understand both themselves and others, and themselves in relationship with others. When you create communities of connection and caring, it can help youth to recognize that as humans, we can all identify with feeling powerless, and that is okay. Our real strength is in coming together to support and understand one another. DFA seeks both to increase one's own reflective capacity and also the ability to empathize with others. The ability to hold a mental picture in one's mind of both oneself and others, and oneself in relationship to others, is termed mentalization. Mentalization is an important concept and goal in the DFA curriculum. The concept of mentalization was developed by Peter Fonagy at University College in London, and it extends the notions of empathy to include the ability to understand one's own mental states and the mental states of others. These mental states include such things as desires, intentions, beliefs, and feelings. Optimally, these mental pictures need to be flexible and open to change and elaboration as we learn more about ourselves and others and become better at interpreting the behavior of ourselves and others. Mentalization is both a product of affect regulation and a means to promote and achieve affect regulation. It can be undermined by the activation of the stress response system, fight, flight, or freeze. Once the stress response system is fully activated, the ability to rationalize, empathize, and achieve mentalization goes out the window. This brings us to another important underlying theoretical underpinning of DFA, an understanding of the stress response system, a deeply ingrained survival process of the brain. When a person perceives environmental danger, the stress response system within the brain can be activated. Once the amygdala, a part of the limbic system, detects environmental threat, it sends signals to the hypothalamus, also located within the limbic system of the brain, which in turn sends out signals to the endocrine and nervous systems to prepare for either fight, flight, or freeze. When youth have been subjected to chronic stress and/or maltreatment, they can get stuck in the stress response system. For example, in the bullying cycle, we might assume that the bully is being activated by the fight response. If the person who is a target of a bully's aggression is cornered or otherwise determines that they cannot safely flee from the danger, that person may become activated by a freeze response. Bystanders may similarly be activated by any one of the fear responses. Freeze, if they fear they may become a target also. Flight, if they calculate that they can make a safe getaway. Or even a fight response, which may cause them to either join in the bullying behavior or take on the bully directly. This brings us to another important theoretical underpinning of DFA, Interpersonal Neurobiology, developed by Dan Siegel and his associates at UCLA. Interpersonal neurobiology helps us to understand that emotional attunement is soothing to the stress response system. It is an affect regulator. When a person is activated, the empathic and attuned connection of another person literally causes the brain to release a soothing neurochemical that calms the stress response system. Exercises, such as mindfulness meditation, are also used within DFA to help increase the brain's capacity to tolerate stress and to protect against the activation of the stress response system. Through empathic connections to others and through strengthening the mind's ability to calm itself through mindfulness meditation, the exercises embedded within DFA seek to reduce aggression, increase focus, and the capacity for reflection and mentalization. Our third quest entails evaluating and practicing skills that support positive relationships in the community. The theory of restorative justice underlies Quest 3. Howard Zare is credited as having proposed a groundbreaking approach to addressing issues of crime and punishment. Restorative justice encourages reparation between those who have been aggressive to others and those who have been harmed by the aggression. Thus, restorative justice promotes reconnections, listening to each other's feelings, thoughts, and intentions, understanding where we are accountable, and agreeing together how we may make things right. Restorative practices are used within DFA to help build trusting relationships among all members of the school community. All members are thus encouraged to reflect upon the actions they can take to promote a kinder, more empathically engaged sense of community. With the understanding that we are all in this together, we can achieve the goal of building communities that are safe, respectful, and caring. This concludes my discussion of the underlying theoretical components of DFA. Thank you very much for listening.